I haven't got any more cupcakes. There are no more cupcakes.
Yeah, we were actually down at Lauren's parents' farm, and we just, having good times, playing a lot of card games, board games, having a bit of a drink, a bit of a yarn. And coming away from that weekend, I remember driving home and turned to Lauren and said, I really want to make my own game.
The train game is a pick-up, put-down style card game. Each game is themed around a different city. The object is collecting a full hand of train stations and one train from the same train line. Having a ticket card helps you avoid getting in trouble from a ticket inspector. Ticket inspectors and undercover ticket inspectors are used to make things more difficult for other players by increasing their hand size, or can help you by collecting cards you need from the discard pile.
Why trains?
Because everyone loves trains.
It never really intended, I don't think we ever really intended for it to get to where it's gone to. So I think we were just looking for something that we both knew. And we both grew up with the Melbourne Public Transport Network, I suppose.
We were doing an MBA when we were thinking about starting this business. So we sort of were across a lot of those aspects. But it's been a big learning curve at the same time. We played with Mark's elderly grandparents.
Oh, really?
So all four of them were in their 80s. That was really fun because they loved it and they got it, which I thought that was early days, and we sort of thought, well, if they can get it, anyone can get it.
Ricky and I went and watched my brother Dan play a game of footy one day. And after he finished, we said, what are you doing this afternoon? Nothing, great, come over to my place. And we sat on the floor of our 2-bedroom apartment and played cards, played this game for like 8 hours straight.
If it's okay with you, we're going to try and do the interview game, which is, as you can see, as high production quality as
The interview game is designed for 3 people to play. Each turn, they each play one of the 3 different cards. One person reads a question card, which has the questions for the interviews. One person plays an answer card, which dictates who is answering the question. And one person plays a challenge card, which dictates how they answer the question.
Did you ever think that the game was not going to succeed?
You answer, Mark.
Answer in 10 words or less. So did I ever think that the train game was not going to succeed? In 10 words or less?
Yep.
Yes.
And what is success?
How did you measure the success?
Exactly.
Was it getting the money back, or was it?
No, it was creating a game and learning something from it and having a bit of fun while we were doing it.
And when we had the idea of making a game, success wasn't even on the table.
Yeah, of course.
It was kind of like, we just want to do this. I measure the success by the fun, the feedback that people have given us. Look, we've had some incredible stories. We had one lady who contacted us and said that her husband had passed away recently and that they buried him with our game.
Oh, wow.
And that for us was just like, what was the hardest part of the creative process?
Answers if you're being chased by a bear. That's familiar.
What was the question again? I forgot the question. I've been chased by a bear. The hardest part has probably been the artwork and the graphic design, which Lauren handles 100% of. So.
It's when other people muscle into my creative process. I don't know why I run like this.
What ways do you think board games support people's well-being?
Ooh, good question. Well, I've only got I answer left, so that's how we're going to work. I think that as long as you're playing them, they can be a huge support, particularly in terms of getting the family or the friends back around the kitchen table and, it sounds sort of obvious, but in a world where no one's doing those things anymore, everyone's playing games on your phone or, not playing games at all.
I just think they're great. Actually, at that weekend that I spoke about earlier, we were away so we had two other couples, so there were 6 of us all together. At that time, I remember personally going through a bit of a rough time just, I don't know, emotionally, mentally, all that sort of stuff. And in that maybe 6 months around that time, so not necessarily from then or before then, but around that time, games were a real sort of escape, I think, from life, from whatever was going on, to be able to sort of put it aside and have fun with people that you really care about and love, and just really good friends. So it was, I think in terms of your well-being, to be able to just escape and think about something that, someone has created something that's its own little world, or it's got its own set of rules, and everything that sort of goes out the window, and you just have to work within this little construct is really fun.
What does mindfulness look like to you? We were at a cafe last week, and it was one of those great child-friendly cafes. They brought out colouring things and pencils for the kids to do. And Mark and I are sitting there colouring, and the kids are totally ignoring us.
How do you make sure to share things you create? Share the things you create.
I'm gonna make Lauren.
Okay. And I'm going to answer while mentioning something I'm grateful for. Well, in the case of the train game, we were sure to share it by selling it to other people. And I'm really grateful that we've been able to share it in the way that we have, because I keep coming back to the same things, but I think it's the gratefulness of the community that we've received in return, which is kind of wild, because they paid us for a game that we created, and they're like, "Oh, we're so grateful to you."
How did you know you'd finished the train game?
But I think we knew the game itself was finished because we had so much fun playing it. Mark's into the really complicated board games these days.
Love myself.
And so for Christmas, I bought him, I don't know if you ever played Loop and Louie as a child. It's this little motorised plane that flies around and tries to knock over your chickens.
Maybe we could play.
Yeah. Which we had as kids.
Can I forget it?
Yeah, please.
Because I was like, you need to get the kids into board games. And they don't want to play the really complicated games. They want the little motorised ones with
something that I think a lot of people think when they've got a great idea, or they feel like they've got a great idea for a game, they get worried that people are going to steal their idea. I think that in this industry, I think something that we've learned is that people aren't out to get you. People are actually really supportive. And are always looking for advice, and that's one of the things I keep telling people is get as many people exposed to your game as quickly as possible.
There's sort of no good time ever. Life is busy, and we were both working full time, and I was pregnant, and there were a lot of reasons not to do it. But if we hadn't have done it, then we would have missed out on so much. So, you just have to do things sometimes and hope that it all works out for the best.
Yeah.